Welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists, an occasionally smart, always irreverent look at sports in St. Louis and beyond. And now, your St. Louis Sportists.
Hello and welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists. My name is Ron Cook, and I am joined by Joe Sperlin.
Hey, glad to be here from my downtown loft here in downtown St. Louis. Maybe not. The last July Wednesday, it'll be August next week. Actually, this weekend.
That's true. It's football season approaching. That's very stylish. By the way, Doug and I were saying that it looks like someone will be bringing you an espresso or a cappuccino here sometime.
They might. I doubt it, though. I don't know if I'm ready for that stuff.
We'll see. And from his usual location, Doug Lansdowne.
Yeah, I'm parked over here in the corner of the den. This is where I post up every night. So you can't see it. There's a big screen here, and over in this room, there's a big screen there. So yeah, I post up here every night. Glad to be here.
And most likely a cat or two in the vicinity.
They'll be around. Yeah,
I figured. Tom Mathis and Keith Farrell are on assignment. In this edition, Pearl Jam once asked, what happens when your worst fear meets you halfway? If you're a Cardinal fan, that's happening right now as the season collapses. At least it provides clarity for Monday's trade deadline. University of Missouri-Columbia is picked 10th in the SEC. Is that accurate? And Patrick Mahomes appears to be on schedule to start the NFL regular season despite off-season knee surgery. The St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings. Jason and his team will take your project from design to completion with a family-first approach. Learn more at onestcoaststeel.com, and we'll hear more from them and Sandra Templeoff later in the show. And tonight's last call is brought to you by Black Dog Consulting LLC, here to help the one-truck owner and the small fleet owner to grow and prosper. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622. Black Dog Consulting, helping you retrieve bigger profits. We are on pretty much every trustworthy, reliable, legitimate social media.
And even some that aren't.
Legitimate.
And some that aren't. Legitimate, yes. If you have a moment to like us, follow us, any of the appropriate actions, we would appreciate it. And our YouTube is at STL Sportists if you want to watch this madness again. A lot of people do. We're not sure why. Let's lead it off with quick hits, Joe Sperlin. What do you have?
You know, Ron, you sent this to me, and I read it the first time, and I misread it. But 78% of the American Conference, first or second team, transferred to Power 4 schools in the past year. Now, Ron, that's darn near 4 out of 5 players.
It's almost 80%, Joe. I was right on that.
Now, at first, when I read it, I thought it said that 78% of the All-American team, first and second, had transferred. And I go, well, I believe that. But that's the old case of, hey, I'm a pretty good player. Give me my money. I'm going to the big time, the Power 4. I get some more money. I'm a pretty good player. And that's not going to stop. I mean, until they fix it, that's not going to stop. And, I mean, it's amazing that I talked to a guy a couple days ago that was talking about a young man he knew that was playing at Mid-America, Nazarene, which is an NAIA school. And it was his deal of, I'm going here, and then I'm moving my way up the transfer portal. I don't know how good the kid is, but I'm kind of sitting there thinking, well, if you're pretty decent, I'm not sure if you'd be at Mid-America, Nazarene, NAIA. But there's all kinds of stories about people that they find, so who knows?
Yep, absolutely. Oh, yeah, kids with growth spurts, and then they put on 50 pounds or whatever. That happens all the time. Hey, by the way, you know those really stupid hats that have the script upside down?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are called flip the script hats. So I'm going to flip the script on what you just said. Instead of 78% of the people leaving, think about it this way. 22% of your team stays.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? 22% of your players are going to be there next year.
Well, and it's the entire thing of recruiting your team constantly.
Right. Yeah. Dennis Gates was talking about that.
Hey, a kid has a great game week 4, and he's like, I'm moving big time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new and crazy world.
There's a kid down in Arkansas down here. I won't say where or who the kid is, but he's good enough. He's a senior this year, basketball player. He's good enough to play Division II for sure. But he had a Division II coach tell him, he said, you just need to go to JUCO.
Yeah.
He said, go to JUCO, because he said, if you go to Division II, you'll go to Division I after the next year. So he said, go to JUCO, because he was trying to get him to come to his Division II, is what he was trying to get him to do. So, but yeah, that's the path, they're talking about.
Well, here's the problem, Doug. You go to Division II and you don't get to play.
Right. That's what he was. That's what he was trying.
Yeah. And then who are they going to do? Well, I don't know if this kid can play or not. I'll bring a junior in, a guy that's 20, 21 years old. You go to a JUCO and you get to play.
And,
Yeah. Yeah.
Avoid the level where you're going to sit on the bench.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Doug, what do you have?
I got a stat for you. 3 weeks ago, we were talking about, it's the stat that amazes me, how nobody hits 300 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Starting today's major league games, how many hitters do you think were at 300 or above?
14.
I'm going to say,
6.
I'm going to say less than what you said last 3 weeks ago.
6. And one guy's hitting 301 and one guy's hitting 302.
They could be off tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine it. It's just
Doug,
different
when you
game.
talked about that and you said there's more guys batting under 200, well, I tried to look that up, and I was, the ones that would qualify for that. Well, guess what? They don't play them enough to qualify. And I'm sitting there thinking,
exactly.
Well, of course you're not. If I'm batting under 200, I'm not going to get all those at bats. They're like, hey, we got to find somebody else. And you couldn't check the guys that qualified. But there was a couple that was around 210.
Joe Sperlin, for your proud Cincinnati Reds, Key Brian Hayes was playing this weekend. You know what he's hitting?
What's he hitting?
A robust 146, and that's your starting third baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. It's a far cry from the Big Red Machine.
Yes.
He did hit a home run.
Yeah, he hit a home run, beat the Cardinals, but oh well.
Hey, and did he prance around the bases then? Hey, did he give it this?
Of course.
He hit a home run and turned a hell of a double play.
Yeah.
Turned a hell of a double play.
So,
yeah.
That goes back to those people that'll see, people saw him do that and probably thought he was an all-star. So go for it. Yeah.
Yep.
So for mine, nothing like a good rumor. And here in St. Louis, we've had teams leave. So when there's a possibility of a team coming to St. Louis, hey, that's something fun. So the Chaffetz family built the arena that the Billikens play in, which is a fantastic facility. And the patriarch of the family was talking about, boy, I'd love to, he did an interview with Frank Cusimano here on Channel 5 and said, man, I'd love to get an NBA team here. And we're all like, yeah, whatever. Well, sure enough, he buys into the Portland Trailblazers. And then in this past week and a half or so, the Trailblazers have come to like loggerheads with the city on their arena. And we're hearing all sorts of things about how the Trailblazers may move. Now, his son, Ross Chaffetz, is working with the Trailblazers. And Channel 4 here in St. Louis ran a story that said, could the NBA be coming to St. Louis? And Ross Chaffetz, who's affiliated with the Portland Trailblazers, retweeted that story. Now, you might say, where would they play? Well, guess what? Just like a lot of places, Philadelphia, Madison Square Garden, and all of that, locker rooms do exist at the Enterprise Center for basketball. So that could totally work. They've talked about that it was built with future expansion for an NBA team. Seats, 18,000 for hockey. So you could certainly have a viable NBA team in there. Do I think it will happen? Probably not. Is it fun to throw around? Of course it is.
Yes. Hey, if you can fit a hockey in there with 18,000, you can fit an NBA.
Oh, heck yeah.
I would think.
Heck yeah. And, there's definitely sponsorship dollars, with no NFL team and, just the Cardinals, Blues, and Cities. So, just something to throw in the back of your head. But I have a feeling that we're being used as leverage right now. So,
No.
No.
couldn't possibly happen. Couldn't possibly happen. I'll tell you where there's no leverage, and that's Busch Stadium right now, where your St. Louis Cardinals are under 500 for the first time all season. 53 and 54. In their last 10, Doug, 2-8.
8.
You sure they won 2?
They have won 2. Since the
They
All-Star
played
break.
Cincinnati.
It doesn't seem like it.
Since the All-Star break, 3-9. Also, since the All-Star break, Jordan Walker has not hit a home run. He used them all up in the home run derby. Cardinals now in 4th place, much closer to last than first, but amazingly, they're still 3 games out of the wild card, but they got a bunch of teams to pass. Doug, is this total system failure?
I think it's a team that overachieved and played really, really hard, but they're just not as talented as some of the other teams. So Walker wins a home run derby. That's a great story. He's having a great year. Weatherholt looks like he's the real deal, but I mean that's kind of all they got. And I don't think those can be your top 2 dogs and you win 95 games in an MLB, They probably got to be your 3rd and 4th best players or your 4th and 5th best players. So I don't think it's system failure. I just feel like we've probably leveled out. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they don't beat the Cubs these next 2 games and they'll be 1 game back above 500. So they still have gotten. I think they've answered more questions than they thought they would have at this point in the season, though. I think they've really figured out some stuff.
By the way, Dusty Blake is being interviewed right now on the game. I think that sounds like a character from Gunsmoke. I would accept other TV shows.
He's done a great job.
He has. Boy, he has. But that's for right now, I'm going with Gunsmoke. I would have also accepted Maverick or Wild Wild West. Joe Sperlin, the St. Louis Cardinals have hit 202 since July 5th as a team. That's not good.
That's not good. And then you wonder why they're only scoring 1 or 2 runs a game. That might be it. Do they have a large on base percentage? Probably not. So if you're hitting 200, hey, Ron, I'll give you some more math. That's 2 out of 10. So you go through the lineup one time, maybe, and you get 2 guys get hits. Well, unless they're back to back, that's not going to help you.
No, it's going to take a lot of work there, a lot of hope. And Benjamin Hockman put this together in the Post-Dispatch. He called it his 6 stats, and he kind of broke it down since July 5th because that's when the wheels came off. And of the 6 Cardinal qualified starters since then, only 2, that's Burleson and Walker, are above average or have OPS plus of 100 in that stretch. Two. So, Doug, we talked about in the early season, there were all sorts of metrics that, like, they're winning, but wow, run differential. Everything was like kind of, how are they winning? Can you only beat those metrics for so long?
I think so. I mean, I think so. I think it's just, I think this is the team they are. So, and it comes out in the wash, and they probably, when it's all said and done, they'll win 78, 79 games.
Yeah.
But Ron, you sent, I can't remember who it was, the tweet about having a plan of trades that they were thinking. And if I remember right, didn't it say this is the plan looking forward to 28? Isn't that what it said?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you said, anything they're getting this year, they were kind of like, hey, 110 games, we're kind of still in this. We're 3 games out of the wild card. Something crazy happens, and who knows?
Yeah, so if you think about it, let's talk about some of those pitchers like Doyle, who's close to you, Joe, there in Springfield. He's at Double A this year. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say he does Triple A next year, maybe into the majors. I mean, you've got a lot of guys like that are just kind of percolating up through the system. Plus Walker should still be in his prime. Weatherholt will be doing better. The two Baezes could be ready to go. You could be looking at a much better team. And then, Doug, there's Matthew Liberatore. Has he become the Miles Michaelis of this year's team where you just don't really feel like you have a chance when number 32 goes out to the mound?
I don't think you have a chance. But, I mean, they just hit it off of a tee when they were hitting off Miles. They don't have to hit it off a tee with Liberatore because he very rarely gets ahead in the count.
2-0.
If you watch him, 2-0. That's exactly what I was going to say. Every batter, 2-0, 2-0. Well, hell, you got to throw a strike. Well, you don't. Okay, then you walk that guy, you walk that guy, you walk that guy, and then you give up a double. Yeah. I mean, they teed off on Miles and Liberatore. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody thought it was be this bad of a regression for him. It's amazing they've one game under 500, and he's been as pitiful as he has been because, after last year, everybody thought he'd be the best pitcher on the staff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were talking about him winning 12, 15 games. We had, pie in the sky dreams. Hey, Joe, back when
the predictions will not lie when we cover those in October, November.
Oh, dear. They're going to be as bad as the hockey. No, the hockey's going to be worse. The hockey's going to be much worse.
The hockey has just floated away into never to be talked about again. I think.
No, we haven't heard about that forever.
We're going to have to confront those before the hockey season. And I think we'll see how quickly we can go through those. That's what we're going to do. So Bernie Miklasz has suggested there's two untouchables on the team. And they're the two that we've talked about already. Walker, the two W's. I guess, can you have killer W's? Like, they had killer B's in Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, someone will come up with something clever. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So, Walker and Weatherholt. So you guys think that's fair, that those are the really only two untouchable guys, and that if the Dodgers say, hey, here's our number 2 prospect for that McGreevy kid, Doug, you think you'd go for that?
Well, yeah, but the Dodgers won't go for that.
Yeah, true.
No, I don't. I mean, pitching's kind of a crapshoot anyway. Like I said, we're talking about Liberatore, how bad he's been and everything like that. I still don't think you trade Mason Wynn. I don't think you trade a Gold Glove shortstop. I think you can build. Yeah. You can build around that. I mean, I don't know why you mess up the middle of the infield like that, because him and Weatherholt are still awfully good with the glove.
It's funny. Dr. Kim Simons was over last night, and we were talking. She's like, she had totally forgotten about the, part of Ozzy's career where he was not a good hitter when he first came over.
Yeah.
Because you kind of tend to go to, later in his career, like 87, when he was, runner up to Dawson for MVP and, hitting close to 300. Wasn't always like that.
Well, and you traded probably one of the best hitting shortstops for Ozzy. I mean, when that trade come out, people were like, oh, you did what?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but that was Whitey's way. I mean, you got rid of Ted Simmons, one of the best offensive catchers in history, for Darryl Porter. Okay. And I mean, Darryl was a good hitter at one point, but he was, shall we say, greatly diminished by the time. But Whitey wanted him to throw people out and handle the pitching staff, which he did very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whitey was kind of smart.
Yeah, exactly.
So around the league, the Dodgers have said that Shohei Ohtani, his knee and his biceps are, Joe, this is some great coach speak, not 100%.
Yeah. They're just not 100%. Yeah. Taking it day by day. And you talk about the Dodgers and the Yankees about making a trade. There may be panic set in on those guys. It may be hey, here's our chance. We got the money. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, and they've also said that one of the reasons that they would say something, fuzzy and nebulous like that, Doug, is that if they really are interested in Skubal, that would jack the price up like dramatically, probably. If it's like, oh, really? You don't have Ohtani?
Yeah. I think I think that really raises the price up on him. So I think that's exactly the way they're looking at it. I mean, if I'm Detroit, I mean, I did hear a beat reporter say that they could play the year out and just keep him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I heard that too. That'll be it. That
didn't he leave today's game? Didn't he leave today's game up 7-0 and they got beat?
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, he left with a 7-0 lead, a standing ovation, the old slow walk, wave everything, and then they lost like, I don't know, was it 13-10 or something like that? So
I just know he was 7-0 when they pulled him.
It was 7-0 when he left and they lost. Yeah.
My gosh. And then our final note that I have here before Joe comes in, you feel old when you look at the Hall of Fame you have for a while here. Andrew Jones, Jeff Kemp, and Joe Buck went into the Hall of Fame over the weekend, and you remember their entire careers, start to finish. Used to be the guys going into the Hall of Fame. It's like
you barely remembered, or you didn't remember them at all.
Yeah. And now it's like, oh yeah, I remember when Andrew Jones came up and had that really good World Series. Oh well, and Joe Buck again. I don't get the hate. I think he's a really good play-by-play guy. Leaving St. Louis, moving to Denver with his wife. He said he's looking forward to less humidity, and after this past week, I can't blame him for that. So,
yeah.
Good for him.
I always said Joe Buck was like that heel, the bad guy in wrestling. He loved the attention. He loved the fact that people didn't like him. He knows he's good, but the fact that there's actually people that don't like me, I think he loves that even more.
He does. Yeah. He does.
Yeah. When he first got on Twitter, I loved the fact that his description was, "Why, yes, I do hate your team." So,
yeah. Hey, Ron, you were talking about Detroit. They are 4 games out of the wild card. They're sitting in the 8 hole. The 8 hole. So some of those teams we were kind of talking about last week that was kind of out of it in the American League is kind of changed in just a week. So you sit there and go, but the Cardinals are 3 games out of a wild card spot with 8 games. And you talk about the run differential. St. Louis is minus 13. But Philadelphia, who's ahead of them, is minus 15, and the Padres, who are in front of them, are minus 20. So I think it's going to be like a drunken fantasy baseball league of just trades after trades of people going, they did what? We've got to do this. Yeah. They did what? We got to do this. Because, hey, we're still in this. We're 3 games out. We're 4 games out. So now
I would love to know analytics about if you are 1, 2, 3, 4 games out of the wild card at the trade deadline, you have an X% chance of getting in.
Oh, those will pop up. Those will pop up.
Yeah. What else do you have, MLB correspondent at large, Joe Sperlin?
I do have some bad news.
Yes.
The St. Louis Cardinals are 14 games behind the Brewers in the standings.
Oof.
Now,
that happened
it also
quickly.
Doesn't. Well, at one time we were talking about how they were all jumbled together, and then the Brewers in Chicago just took off.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Royals are only 11 games out of first place.
Huh.
Now,
and their big first baseman went back on the IL again with his wrist.
Yeah. Now
that guy.
Hey,
Pascantino
Omaha will be up there. They're going to end up calling themselves the Omaha Royals like they did that one year.
Yeah.
The one year where they didn't call anyone up from AAA and they just called them all up from AA. It helps when the Royals' first place team is like 2 games over 500.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I remember someone
baseball.
Yeah, someone said that it felt like the year Ken Harvey got hit in the groin by the ball. You remember that? He turned around for a relay throw and didn't know it was coming, and it looked like something from Benny Hill. He just like he'd been shot. So yeah, good times. Good times. And folks, if you want to find that on YouTube, it is out there. I tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, with that, Joe, any other items? I didn't mean to wrap you early there.
No. I just think that with this many teams in it, there's going to be a lot of wild trades.
Yeah, we'll know that the trade deadline is the 3rd of August this year, a little bit later than usual. So that's Monday. You may be listening to this after the trade deadline, and you may know. So,
yeah.
Is Carl Ravage? Is he covering that on ESPN on Monday?
I don't believe he's available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think he'll be on assignment.
Yeah. He may be our MLB correspondent next week.
I bet we could get him.
He could.
Yeah.
He could be. He could be. You know, I'll reach out to him on Twitter and see if he can join us. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And with that, it's time for Loose Ends. Let's keep it in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is cleared for full practice activities after, Doug, you witnessed in person him tearing ACL and LCL in December. Andy Reid will not confirm that he will be ready for week 1, but there is speculation that he is on track. Doug, what do you think? You think he's in the shotgun formation week 1?
Yep. I think he'll be ready to go. He's just one of those guys. So, and right after he got hurt, he said, I'll be ready to start the season. I think he's just one of those guys.
Joe, we've talked last week, and we've talked a few times about how kind of as sports fans, when a player comes back from an injury, we just automatically assume they're going to be exactly like they were before they were injured. Do you think we'll see him take off down, for his patented 16-yard runs on 3rd and 14 down the sideline?
You will see a couple of those, and then you'll probably end up seeing him do something really stupid. And then Andy will come over and grab him by the face mask and lean over, or Kelsey or someone will grab him, and you'll see the words, "What the are you doing? What are you thinking?" And he'll be sitting there going, I know. So,
yeah. And they'll cut away to a cheerleader very quickly.
Yeah. To me, I was guaranteeing he would be back week 1 when they released the schedule. And the Chiefs were on Sunday night and Monday night, week 1 and 2.
Yep.
Like I said, Justin Fields, God love him, he is not must-see TV. He's not going to be the promotion guy that's going to be on there. So,
nope, they've got a clipboard ready for him.
Yeah.
Or is it or is it a Microsoft Surface now?
He will be the one that all of a sudden Mahomes will get up and kind of limp a little bit and shake the knee out, and they will flash to Fields, and Fields will be looking for his helmet, and he'll be throwing balls, running out on the field, taking snaps, and then Mahomes will wave him off, and then he'll go back.
And his first warm-up throw will hit the guy in the feet that he's throwing at.
Yes.
And Reed will say, he's ready, put him in.
His first warm-up throw will kind of roll out of bounds like 20 yards past the guy. Be like, give me another ball.
Hey, it's the perfect example of the backup quarterback is exactly like the first string, except not as good.
Not nearly as good.
Yeah.
Nope. The New York Yankees have announced, so last year they did this, and they had people lining up like hours in advance, going back to what their most famous front office employee, George Costanza. August 27th will be George Costanza bobblehead night, and this year George will have a calzone going back to the famous episode season 7, which was just simply titled The Calzone, when he got George Steinbrenner hooked on the calzones, and then, of course, irritated the guy where he was getting them and couldn't get them for George anymore. So, word is, Joe Sperlin, they were selling those for between $300 and $500. And, of course, it was a limited number, which drove it up even more.
I believe it. It's amazing, like you said, from some more quick math around 30 years ago, how that still is a thing. But I think with people our age, they're going to buy those things and all that other
Like
stuff.
that. Like that.
Yes, yes.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
I think about this all the time when, especially around the All-Star break, and Jordan Walker is making me think about this. Not trying to change it up, but I was going to say something back then, but I knew we were going to talk about Steinbrenner. You remember the one year when Dave Winfield was on the Yankees and he played the entire All-Star game, and
Yeah.
Steinbrenner was mad that he played the entire game, and then Winfield comes back and is in a slump, and Steinbrenner made him put in every stat of everything they said. Since he played all 9 innings in the All-Star game, he has hit like 172 with 1 home run. I feel like maybe the Cardinals need to do that for Jordan Walker. Since he won the home run derby, he has, like,
Mhm.
let's blame the home run derby. Let's blame that Dave Winfield played 9 innings. I think about that all the time with ever since he played 9 innings in the All-Star game, he has done this. And I think he did it for like almost an entire year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's vintage George.
Yeah.
I miss some of that. And finally, we'll look at a sartorial note. If you haven't seen this, folk, look it up. The Buffalo Bills have a new. I don't know. Are they still calling this a Color Rush uniform? Anyway, it's hideous. It's gray. The helmet is blue with a big red kind of stripe on it. The Bill logo is nowhere to be seen. The best line I heard, Joe, on Twitter or X was that it looks like a college you've never heard of playing at 4:00 on a Saturday on a cable channel that you didn't know you picked up.
Exactly.
It's bad, very bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. These, I think this Nike, like didn't you say that it's to sell more stuff, or was that
Oh
Doug? I
yeah.
forget
Buy
which.
these new jerseys. Aren't they cool and all this stuff? And it'll be like people like, it's so damn ugly, I'm gonna buy this. Hey,
Yeah,
remember when we had
yeah.
these uniforms? And if they don't win or Josh Allen gets hurt, those jerseys will be cursed forever.
That's it. Yeah, if Josh Allen, goes down grabbing his hammy in those in the first quarter or the first time they wear them, there will be a public burning of those uniforms.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. And with that, it's time to hear from the good folks at First Coast Steel Buildings. After the break, we will take a look at St. Louis City and their big signing. Also, Mizzou fans are up in arms. They're number 10. All this and more when we come back.
Are you in the market for a barn dominium, house, garage, man cave, carport, or hobby shop? Wondering how to get started or where to go? Whatever you are looking to design, look no further than First Coast Steel Buildings. Give Jason and his team a call at 912-314-4848. They will guide you through the process, designing your building to fit your specific needs and budget. Call them today at 912-314-4848 or get inspirational ideas and start designing your own by visiting them at firstcoaststeel.com. Again, that's the number 1, coaststeel.com. Their low-cost buildings are fully galvanized steel, providing you with worry-free, low-maintenance requirements, integrity, quality, and a family-first approach. First Coast Steel Buildings, 912-314-4848 or firstcoaststeel.com. Discounts for military and first responders.
And we are back on the St. Louis Sportists Podcast, joined by Joe Sperlin, Doug Lansdowne. My name is Ron Cook. Keith Farrell and Tom Mathis are on assignment. Well, the SEC preseason media poll came out this past week, and the people at the University of Missouri at Columbia are up in arms because they are number 10. Joe Sperlin, is that about right?
I sit there and look about the 5 or 6 they're above. I would agree with that. And I don't know. Would they have been happier if they were 9? I mean, would they have been happier if they were 8? I mean, were they upset that they weren't 4? I mean, because I guess you could argue that them and Tennessee and Florida, I'm sure, was pretty close in the votes, but I don't see a lot of difference in that. I mean, okay, so you're 8, 9, 10.
I
You're
thought
kind
the
of in the
same
middle of the
thing.
pack.
Couldn't you throw 8, 9, 10 in a hat and stir it up and pull them out each time? I mean, you're
Pretty
right.
much.
The only thing I worry about is I hope Mizzou remember that all those offensive guys they recruited, they got to find 11 dudes to play defense. Is what I'm worried about.
Yeah. And just so you know, folks, Georgia number 1, Texas 2, Ole Miss 3, A&M 4, LSU 5, Alabama 6, Oklahoma 7, Tennessee 8, Florida 9, Missouri 10. So for Missouri to be higher, you have to put them above Florida, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Alabama. Then 11, South Carolina, 12, Auburn, 13, Vanderbilt, 14, Kentucky, 15, Mississippi State, and 16, God bless you, Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah.
Gonna be a long season down there. Did you guys see the picture of the 2 new Arkansas coaches standing there in their polos and they looked like tire salesmen? That was fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, and what about the guy that voted Kentucky number 1?
Yeah, Kentucky got a first place vote.
Probably the same guy that voted Stanford number 1 in the ACC poll. Stanford, I think, got last place, and someone voted them in number 1.
Yeah. I saw the best thing that I saw, and I wish I could give credit to this because I thought it was pretty good. They were talking about the University of Missouri Columbia, and they said, "Why are you so upset when you have 54 new players, a new starting quarterback, and your best returning running back was shot in the leg?"
Yeah.
So there's definitely some uncertainty there. And, it's again, I think it's going to hurt them that they don't have those 4 non-conference games this year, just the 3. So we'll see.
Looking at that poll, Alabama is 6th. 6th. I mean, I'm a Mizzou fan, and I'm looking at it and think, 10, everything. But you just stop and look at that, and you're like, Alabama is 6th.
Well,
That's just...
and then you sit there and say, okay, well, let's throw this out there. Oklahoma's 7.
Yeah. Those are 2 calm, relaxed fan bases.
I think they're above everybody they were voted above. I guess you could say, well, should be Tennessee or Florida, but I mean, like I said, you're 8, 9, 10. You're the middle of the pack. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know that the people down in Alabama are just delighted with the way things are going right now. Doug, with the lineman that you were talking about last week, that between that and this ranking, they're just having a great time down there.
Oh, yes.
In other news, the Ohio State University signed Chase. That's the bank. Like they used to be called Chase Manhattan, if you're old like me, but now they're just Chase. To have a patch on their uniform, which brings in a cool $15 to $17 million a year across all of their athletics. There's talk of a players' union. That's right. Stanford has started a chapter of the College Football Players Association. Joe, how about that?
Yep. Hey, shocking that it was Stanford. I'm kind of. I thought for sure Auburn would have started something like that, but I don't think so. They are. It is amazing how they're kind of going through of what they're trying to. They see, as I guess you'd say, the writing on the wall that they're trying to get a voice out there. They're trying to say, let's have a voice. Let's try to get enough teams that you can have a conference. But one thing I noticed when I was looking at this, Ron, some states do not allow public university employees to unionize because they work for the government.
Correct.
And then if they do unionize, some states would be then you are an employee of the university.
The university. Yep.
And then, of course,
I believe they call that a can of worms.
Yes. Then we also know then if you have a union, the entire deal of union is if we don't get what we want, we won't work. Well, then the NIL money is the only thing they have to put in to save them. And they're like, yeah, I don't know if they'll ever get enough to have a conference, but I could see a team like Stanford saying, here's what we want, and we're not playing.
Yeah. Doug, you think we'll ever hear the phrase college football strike in our lifetime?
God, I hope not.
Yeah.
Is Andrew Luck behind all this out in Stanford?
Andrew Luck and the head coach and I think the president did not have a comment on it.
No comment from Andrew Luck?
No comment.
Okay.
No comment on that. I think it's the same thing of, the guys that are wanting their money, they're not going to risk it. They're going to say, I want to keep my money. Now, like I said, I think the Stanfords of that will do it just because they're Stanford, I guess, more than anything, of being the ones. And to get the deal of a collective bargaining agreement and a salary cap and to control the NIL spending. There you go.
Yep.
I just got a headache halfway through that sentence, but
yeah. Yeah.
It's that coffee you're drinking.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It's late.
I think I need
You'll
to
be up forever.
The bourbon's right over there.
There you go. Throw a little bourbon in there.
And finally in college football, Joe, this is another head scratcher. A Tennessee linebacker named Arion Carter was suspended for the first 2 games of the season by the NCAA because he accepted, well, the money is really going to get you. $427.48 for a flight from an agent during the NFL pre-draft process. And they self-reported he withdrew from the draft prior to the deadline, and the NCAA said, no, that's a 3-game suspension. And then they're like, really, NCAA? Come on, don't be stupid. And they're like, okay, we'll only make it 2.
And he paid the money back.
Yes.
And is no longer associated with the agent.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Hey, that's the NCAA saying, unless you all forget, we are still in control around here. We still make the rules. Not for long, you're going to. And that's where the SEC are all sending the text messages / confidential emails. This is why we need to go do our own thing.
Yep.
Yeah. They're like the Pentagon. They're using Signal or one of those other apps like that.
Yes.
So there's no paper trail. So yeah.
Yes.
And once again, if we learned anything today, don't keep your confidential diary on a government server. I'll just leave that at that.
Exactly.
And my final NCAA item today, and one of the funniest tweets that I have seen. The tweet wasn't funny. The response was there was a picture of the Arizona State equipment truck, and someone from there said, "Our truck is loaded up and on the way to London." And the first response was someone said, "You will discover an issue in about 4 days."
Yeah.
Oh, that's just too damn
So
fun.
that's a trucking issue even Black Dog couldn't help
Black
with.
Dog.
Yeah.
He'd find a way,
I
though.
need Black
Yep.
Dog.
Black Dog can't help with that one.
Well, you never know. Dave's a very resourceful guy. He could probably
He would find a way, Dave would.
Dave would find the shortest possible route, possibly invoke a voting solution. And finally,
Arizona State called Black Dog Trucking.
we need to actually put that in the comments.
Yeah.
And your St. Louis City is in the playoffs. I in the notes I said in the playoffs, baby. 1-0 win over Colorado. Last 6 games, 5-0-1. They are 7th in the Western Conference now, 7-6-4 on the season. The rumor last week turned out to be true. Danish attacker Carlo Hulse is in town. He has signed his contract today. So big time for St. Louis City this Saturday. Real Salt Lake and Diego Luna will be at Energizer Park as they continue to try to move up in the Western conference of MLS.
Are you going?
So-
Are you going to be in attendance?
I believe I will take a break from my activities caring for my lovely wife to go take that one in at Energizer Park. So,
Ron, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't now in this PC world that we're living with and everything, wouldn't there be another position that they could call that instead of an attacker? Because when you say
An
a
attacking
Danish
midfielder?
attacker, yeah, I mean,
Ooh, an attacking midfielder.
did they come up with a better name than an attacker? Because when you say they got a Danish attacker, I'm like, does this young man have a record? I mean, does he have violence cases in his past?
He does sound like a little bit of a criminal. It sounds like Interpol would be on his heels, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Just wondering.
Let me, as Judge Wapner used to say, I'll study this. So
Okay.
I'll get back to you. I'll report back next week. So with that philosophical question, we've reached the last call, brought to you by the aforementioned Black Dog Consulting. With over 38 years in the transportation industry, Dave knows where to look to find those pennies per mile that make the difference between just getting by and profit and growth and knowing how to get a semi across the Atlantic Ocean. From one-truck operations to small fleet owners, he has a proven multi-million-dollar track record to help you retrieve bigger profits and get football athletic trucks to London. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622 or David at blackdogconsultingllc.net. And you can also check out the website, blackdogconsulting.net. Joe Sperlin, what do you have for a last call?
You know, normally if Tom was here, we'd have a double. Tom's not here, so I'm just going to keep it to a single. I have to drive to the living room here in a little bit. This week will be your last Sunday or last week without American football, as I like to say, America football. The Hall of Fame game is Thursday. So, guys that you kind of get your football fix for a little bit and then realize you don't know any of the guys playing. And that'll be football until February 21st of 2027. You'll have football going on from here on out. So welcome back.
I reiterate, the best part of the Hall of Fame game is when they tell you the rule changes.
Yes. Because then you're like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would go for a preseason Arizona New York Jets game right now. So I'd be good with that. That's how much I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost the same, Arizona and Carolina. Or is it Carolina or is it the Jets? I know it's Arizona is one of them.
Is it Arizona?
I think it's Carolina. Okay. I believe it's Arizona and Carolina.
Ooh,
for those of you that need a fix, the Panthers are a 1.5 point favorite with a total of 35.5.
And if you are betting...
Go ahead, Ron.
And if you are betting on the Hall of Fame game, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You might have a problem.
Yes.
Oh, Douglas, what do you have?
So did you hear what Bryce Harper said?
I did not.
He said, we need some help. And Don Mattingly said, the players automatically think that you can just write checks and do this stuff, and the GMs can do all this and everything. He said, how about we just play better? And I thought, boy, Don was, he's a player's manager. He's that kind of guy and everything, I mean, he was really, you need to watch it. His arms are crossed, and he's a little standoffish and gruff. Do you know who the GM is? You know who the GM is for the Philadelphia Phillies?
It's not Dombrowski still, is it?
It's Preston Mattingly.
That
would be Don's boy.
I did not know that.
That would be Don's son. So maybe a little riff there going on. So I like that.
Yeah.
I believe that's what they call a plot twist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I'm going to stay in baseball too, and you guys know Harrison Bader with his flowing locks and flair for the dramatic. He was a big time fan favorite here in the city of St. Louis.
Oh, hold on, I got to interrupt just a second. Hold on.
Oh, go.
Hold on. So Monday, I'm over in Ava helping Dad. We did a bunch of stuff, and we had MLB on, and Dad goes, whatever happened to that long-haired guy the Cardinals had in the outfield that could catch everything but couldn't hit a damn ball to save his life? I said, well, he's somewhere and he's injured, so go ahead.
There you go. Ron's going to give Ronnie an update right here.
Yep.
Well, this is for you, Ronnie Lansdowne. I hope you're doing well, sir. So Bader hasn't played since late May because he had left foot discomfort.
Oh, yeah.
Try telling that to your friend from last week, Joe.
Yes.
Well, he sustained additional injuries to the same foot when he was involved in, are you ready for this? A scooter crash over the weekend, the team announced on Tuesday. So Bader traveled to Indianapolis on Monday for an appointment with a foot specialist. Before he departed, he was involved in a crash that occurred. Now, I find this timing somewhat dubious. Saturday night or early Sunday morning. First of all, the fact they're unable to pin it down is dubious. According to the news release from the Giants, he might have been into the bourbon. Just gonna say. So those additional injuries, quote, this again written by a guy like me, changed the nature of his evaluation, which was originally for a case of plantar fasciitis, the release stated. So he returned to San Francisco and underwent an MRI yesterday to determine the severity of the injuries from the scooter crash. That's what they call it, a scooter crash. Now, the thing that I did not know, the thing that I learned today, this is not the first time he has been involved in this is what it says, scooter-related incident. As a sophomore at the university. Well, that could be an episode title right there. As a sophomore at the University of Florida in 2014, Bader was suspended from team activities following a late-night scooter crash in Gainesville, Florida, which police investigated.
I bet the same time was undisclosed. It was Saturday night,
late
Sunday.
Saturday night, early Sunday morning.
The time could not be specified. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to guess that his next contract may have a no scooter rider. Just going
to say, some people like cars, some people like that. This young man, he likes racing them scooters, collecting those scooters. Illegal scooter racing there on the side streets.
It would seem so. So Ronnie, there's your Harrison Bader update. He couldn't
remember his name
about the scooters. Yeah,
that long-haired guy.
Yeah. Well,
and Doug, you knew exactly who he was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Except for that cup of coffee he had with the Yankees. Then he was not the long-haired guy.
He was not the long-haired guy. You're exactly right.
No. So with that, Joe Sperlin, thank you, sir.
Yeah, always enjoyed visiting with you guys. Like we said, it'll be August, and we'll all get busy again. So,
yeah, love your loft, by the way. That's very nice.
Yeah. I think we're working on it.
That's good. Doug Lansdowne.
I think it's appropriate that Joe was in the loft because he gave us uplifting news about football's on the way.
That's right.
Indeed.
Yep. Happy to be here. There must be something going on with Dustin May because every Cardinal has hugged him in the dugout.
Uh-oh.
I think they're taking him out after throwing 5. Or he could have been traded, I bet you.
Well, he's hugged everybody in the dugout.
Let me check everyone.
He's thrown 5 shutout innings, but everyone's hugging him. We could have breaking news here, folks. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so watch our Twitter feed for possible. Oh, and then Church is hit on the head. Okay. Well, anyway, folks, thank you for joining us on this episode. And boy, will we have a lot to talk about next week on the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. And until then, take care.
And that wraps another episode of the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest episodes. You can find these guys on all major podcast platforms. And thanks for listening.